Hi, Ted Morrissey here, doing a video talking about creating websites and blogs and social media accounts and those kinds of things for writers and poets and screenwriters and all kinds of creative folks like that. So, um, I think there's some angst out there about creating a web space, a website, um, or a blog or something because we're thinking of it as trying to appeal to a certain kind of reader that we are targeting. And so we're trying to use like extrasensory perception to figure out, well, what would the typical 18 to 35-year-old urban female find appealing? What color scheme, what theme, what style of font, what kind of content would really draw them in and make them an avid fan of my work. But there's no way to know any of that. It's a completely ridiculous premise. How many 18-year-olds do you know who have exactly the same tastes in anything, let alone 18 to 35-year-olds living in various urban environments or whatever it might be? People are individuals. They're going to be attracted to whatever they're attracted to. And today, they might be attracted to black, and tomorrow they might be attracted to white, and the next day they might be attracted to chartreuse. So who knows, right? It's a no-win situation to try to figure out how you can design something that will appeal to hundreds, thousands, millions of people. I mean, there are people who this is what they do for a living. They work for advertising agencies and they are in the marketing departments of this place or that place. And that's all they do all day. Spend hours, hours, hours doing market research, trying to figure out how to create a product or how to make a movie or how to do whatever that's going to appeal to a bunch of people. And they get it wrong all the time. Things flop, things land with a thud, never to be seen again. And by the same token, something that seems completely outlandish, that couldn't possibly have mass appeal, becomes a worldwide phenomenon. Let's make a movie, someone said, about sharks falling out of the sky from tornadoes. It'll be great. Who thought that was a good idea? But yet, here we are, right? So that's one reason why being anxious, losing sleep, trying to figure out how to attract a particular demographic is nonsense and a waste of time because it's not possible. Hang on, gotta pause a second to let my dog outside. I'm back. He's a good boy. When he wants out, he should get out. Besides, he's older, so it's always a good idea to let him out when he wants to be out. So that's one reason. It's a fool's errand, right? The other reason that having angst over this is not something you need to do is because it has a sort of backward logic to it. The idea is that you figure out what kind of people like to read the sort of thing you're writing or plan to write. Then you somehow design a website or a blog that appeals to men over age 50 or teenagers from age 12 to 16 who live in rural areas. I don't know, right? And then lo and behold, they find your website or your blog online and they love it. And they see, oh, well, you've written X, Y, and Z. Let me go to Amazon or wherever and buy that. Now he wants in. Hold on. Okay. But then how it works. Maybe once in a great while it works that way. But usually what happens is someone reads you somewhere. You have a story published or a poem published or an essay published, or you have a short film in a local competition or on YouTube or wherever it might be, and somebody reads it or sees it and they like it, And so they want to know more about you. And so they use the Google machine. And, oh, they've got a website, or they've got a blog, or they're on Instatalk. I made that up. And then they go and find out more about you. And oh, okay, now you've got some other stuff out there. You've got a whole book. They like the story they read online, but you've got a whole book that maybe like that story. So they're going to go check it out, right? They're going to download a copy. Yeah, hopefully they'll pay for it. So again, the idea that you create a website which attracts potential readers, they like your website, so they go to your books, doesn't work that way. I mean, maybe once in a while, but more often, if it's going to work at all, it's going to be because they've read something you've written. That has then sparked them to find you online. And then that may lead to them reading more stuff. But I guarantee you, if they read a story or a poem or a novella or whatever it is by you and they really like it, and they go to your website, it's very unlikely they're going to go to your website and say, ooh, never mind. You know, you use Times New Roman font. I'm a Calibri person myself, so I'm never reading you again. It's ridiculous, right? As long as you've got a website that's easy to navigate, has some useful information, then that's all you need to have, right? As I mentioned in my written notes, I think it's a good idea to have a way for people to contact you. So if an editor wants to get hold of you, a publisher, an agent, that'd be sweet. They've read something of yours online. They're interested in seeing if you have more, if you have a book you're trying to market or to get published or something. So they want to find you. I've had the situation lately, in fact, within the last few months, where as a editor and a publisher, I wanted to contact a writer because I read some of their stuff and I wanted to reach out to them about maybe getting a hold of more. And I couldn't find a way to get a hold of them. They either didn't have a website, no social media accounts, or in one case, a person had a really nice, attractive website with information about how to buy their book, but no way to contact them about other projects. So you know what I did? Nothing. I'm not. I mean, I'm a busy guy. I'm not going to play Sherlock Holmes just to find a way to contact a writer that I might want to work with further. So have some sort of way of contacting you. A lot of websites have a contact page that you can just insert automatically into your website, and it's just I'm sure you've seen it if you've been online at all. It's just kind of a blank thing, and the person visiting your website puts in their email address, their name and email address, and a message to you. And then they hit send. You don't have to put your email address in there. The program is set up so that when the contact page is, somebody hits send or whatever, it goes to your email account, whatever email account you've connected to it. So you don't have to put your email out there in the world, but a person can contact you and you can get an email alert. Also, of course, through social media and other ways like that. So I do think it's a good idea to have a way for someone to contact you, even if you want to kind of be behind a screen of just a contact, page on your website. All right. So, yeah, don't stress. Your finished product, your website or your blog really only needs 3 components: some sort of biographical statement, who you are, and a little bit about your expertise, your credentials. That could be something as simple as you have a degree from X university, or you've been studying, at X university, or maybe you can say you're an editor here or a reader for this journal or whatever, right? Some kind of, it doesn't have to be, no one expects you to have won the Nobel Prize at this point. Just something about why maybe you should be taken seriously as a writer or a poet or whatever. Another page where you talk about either your works in progress, things you're working on, or better still, if you've got some publications, have a list of publications, and it could just be 1 or 2 or 3. Again, no one is expecting you to have, an arm's length worth of work published at this point. If you don't have anything published, so you have to include a works in progress link, I would encourage you, like a year from now or whenever, when you've got some stuff published, to go back to your website and to switch your works in progress to publications. But you can talk about things you're working on. It's a little bit unusual. Most writers don't have a work in progress page, about things they're working on, only things they've published, but whatever. And then a link to your social media, which again could be anything. Could be Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, right? Whatever it is. All right, so that's it. I want to keep this short. Don't stress. Think of your website as, what do you want it to appeal to? What do you want it to be? What's appealing to you? Because that's really what matters. You're going to have to live with this for a while if you actually use it. So make it something that you find appealing and attractive. And if you find it appealing and attractive, then other readers, potential readers, are going to find it appealing and attractive too, right? So just please yourself in terms of the style and so on, and that's really all you need to do. All right. So I look forward to seeing what you come up with.